My name's David Underwood, and I'm Deputy Director of Technology and Information Services at the Met Office. We're a big information business, archiving 10 terabytes a day, moving petabytes of information around, storing at any given time 15 or so petabytes of actionable data. These are big numbers. Originally, our approach to QA back in 2003, so only 8 years ago, was we had 3 people in it. And this wasn't QA of everything we did. This was QA of a single internal forecasting system, our one production platform that we had at the time. They performed functional testing, user training, first-line support, and change management. They had lots of time on their hands. Not. We had no web or mobile capability to speak of. Our first website was just starting to come into being. And we had 3 major releases per year, and that was it. Why couldn't we survive like that ongoing? Very humble beginnings. Well, we like to think now we're more of test heroes, because we've realized that if we don't test properly, it's our customers who do it for us. And if our customers don't like the experience they receive, they go elsewhere. And when you're communicating about safety, you don't want that. The government spends a good deal of time and money on asking us to deliver a consistent message, which allows the whole of the national infrastructure to take consistent decisions in safety-related situations. We now have a team of 13, servicing 25+ projects per year, delivering 40+ releases. They're fully certified, information and examination boards, proficient web testing capability, marketing capabilities, and security performance and resilience testing. So we're starting to mature as an organization. We're recognizing the importance that testing can really contribute to your customer experience, give you more reliable services, far fewer defects in production, and therefore more pleased, more happy customers getting the information they need when they need it. These are the simple things that we're looking for. We have a diverse output, 25 new web applications and 3 mobile applications launched in this current FY. And for an organization of our size, that's not a bad set. Serving the following communities: aviation, where it's used in real-time safety critical decision making. Ditto for transport, the utilities industries. They buy forward, so they're doing derivatives and trading of fuel price, power prices on the basis of our predictions. The World Cup, the public web services, defense, volcanic ash, hazards warnings, and tropical storms. There are communities who require that information 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We don't want them to receive a web app which is designed to help them getting in the way of them taking those reliable decisions. And yet, much of the information we display is not static. You saw that cycling image of the Evyatnikul volcanic ash eruption. That's the way they want to consume those services. So the websites, government, DirectGov, keep asking us to join them. And we keep saying, you just don't realize on your entire website you've got slightly under 1 terabyte of information presented. That's DVLA and all the other aspects of government across 50 or so departments. We will want to put 11 or 12 terabytes of data on there every day, every 6 hours. And you can't compete with that with the infrastructures that you're operating. So, crowdsourced testing, our concept of operation. It enables us to harness on demand, and that's one of the key issues. We can almost get to the last moment, because guess what? I don't know about your organizations, but my organization, the business requirements are never quite as pinned down as we would like them to be. And guess what? You get to within that final release spec, and they come along and say, we'd like one last tweak. Wait a moment, I froze this. No, please get that one last thing in. And we're a responsive organization. We try to do that. But guess what's getting squeezed all the time? It's that test. How performant is it? How does it function? Does it cause you any issues further across your estate? And these are the things that get crushed out. So we take a service from UTest, and Roy is here today from UTest, and I'd like to thank him very much. We have had a really good experience. It's only just over 2 years ago since we had our first experience of U-Test. And it really has made a huge difference to the way we approach. It complements the way that we do our own testing and has changed the way we do our own testing. Somebody asked me earlier on, were my testing teams threatened by U-Test? And as we've now started to talk about cloud testing, the answer is no. They were clapping their hands and cheering with glee. Here was something that could help them to do an even better job, and it provides good and useful intelligence faster than we can do it ourselves. Our web pages and test requirements are exposed to the crowd via the portal. Defect management is built in, including exportable reports. So we're actually getting a lot of information very rapidly. So why would we invite all these various hordes of people from across the globe to have a look at one of our applications? What are the security risks? What is the safety of it? Well, it's not an issue. We've uploaded it to the portal. We've uploaded the test spec, the scripts. So we've told them what they want to do. If they crash it and break it, that's fine. We've got the safe stuff sitting back in the organization. So it's very low risk for us. And what it gives us is a case study here. The requirement was to test our mobile application quickly with good device coverage, but we had a couple of big problems. Impractical to acquire all mobile devices. There's a myriad of them with all different operating systems, be it Androids, Apples, all the rest of it. They're all out there. And we don't want to dictate to our customer, you have to access our services through this particular system. They're going to try it through all sorts of systems. The browser emulators are incompatible with our Ministry of Defense because we're a trading company, but a wholly owned subsidiary of the MOD. We have to comply with their data standards and their security standards. And if it's incompatible, we can't do it. Straightforward. This is a way around that problem. We use the crowd. Test cycle 1 finished in 2 days. 63 participating testers, 88 accepted defects. And when we look at the pace, 88 defects delivered in 48 hours. It would have taken one of our guys working flat out 8 days to do that. And when I talk to the costs, which I'll leave you to quiz Roy about, but I can assure you the costs of that 48 hours are way below the costs of 8 days of my tester time. So it really makes good financial sense. Approximately 75% quicker and 45% cheaper than hiring a contractor. 50% of defects logged in the first 6 hours. And that's the beauty of it. You can be monitoring and actioning way before your test's finished. Broad, definable mobile device coverage with no hardware costs. The testers bring their own kit. Couldn't get much better than that. And gives round-the-clock resource. Events run through the night and the weekend. So all that dead space, and you heard it from Tom, the advantage of having a testing site in the UK, they're up and working at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. so that when the guys get into their offices in the US between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, they're already looking at test results from their previous day's build. It's about creating that dynamic cycle of rapid test, rapid response. No line management required. And I can assure you, I appreciate that bit. Bit of contract management, yeah, undoubtedly. And that's it. That's all I've got to say on crowd testing. I've been talking with Tom about cloud testing. You'll appreciate that we communicate a lot of information. I've already harped on about that. To give you an idea, in the UK terms, on a busy weather day, we get 19 million individuals coming to our website. And yes, I use Akamai so that I don't have to have all those servers myself. So I'm using a service to help me do that. But I need to know that that application will stand up. In the volcanic ash event, the Department for Transport website crashed within 1 hour. Civil Aviation Authority made it to 2 hours. National Air Traffic Service, the Air Traffic Management Organization, sub 1 hour. Met Office, we stayed up right the way through it. We were praised by all 3 of those other organizations because they were able to use it as a communications route. But it is about the essence of modern communication, modern web delivery. It is not acceptable to fail to deliver your information. If you do, you're history. People ain't going to go and give it a second glance. And it's far harder to win them back once you've lost them than it is to keep them there and keep them happy. So when it comes to doing volume load testing, I'm interested in finding out how my applications perform when hundreds of thousands and millions of people go wanting to access them and use them. And we talked about, and I don't know if anybody heard on radio this morning, the telcos are all clouding together at the moment because they're starting to think, streaming video, perhaps we should charge people more if they want streaming video, because that's starting to eat up our bandwidth. And what am I working on at the moment? I'm looking at streaming weather forecasts so that you can come to our site and you can get the equivalent of the BBC forecast for any location at any time of day. And we're not there yet, but that will mean that I have to have a very reliable service that can handle up to tens of millions of accesses and concurrently tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands.